shall be known by the
Hi there, my name is
company
Tirsi Engelhardt, and I'd like to welcome you to
circle
the
round
Unreasonably
and
Grateful podcast,
by.
Living in Grace by Choice. So, first of all, a couple of notes here. I'm actually, recording this on New Year's Eve. It's going to play a couple of days after the new year begins. Thus, the title is Ending Well, setting ourselves up for a healthy new beginning. But I just want to remind you, we gather together weekly. My episodes are always released on Sunday mornings, and it's to support one another. Those of us some of us have gone through what we call addiction. Others of us perhaps don't label it as an addictive healing. Perhaps they're just becoming the best version of themselves, whatever that might look like for them. They're in some version of perhaps transition or just life and looking to take the next step. And I personally think it's good to always be growing and advancing and deepening our capacity to receive and give love. So, the reminder is I don't have your answers. I'm not here to answer anything. I'm here simply to share tidbits of wisdom I've gleaned and am still gleaning from my 40-year journey of recovery from living an addictive lifestyle from 16 years old to 36. And yeah, and that still feels a bit miraculous to me because I can very easily remember when I couldn't get through one day. And we all face our demons. They may look different in whatever season you're in, but daily, moment by moment, we can all work on keeping our attention on those qualities of the divine that are imbued in all of us and have those be our guiding lights, not our responses or reactions to wounds or hurts or heartbreaks or disappointments or trauma, whatever else the circumstances of your life might have been or might be. So, anyway, welcome to the end of 2025. It's hard to believe. And soon the beginning of a new year, 2026. I'm grateful to have you here, grateful to be sharing this journey with you. So, one of the things I said in the description of this particular episode is sure, we can mark years. That's one measure. And for those of us that have dealt with the world of addiction, we can, mark days and we can actually mark moments. So while we don't often look at life like that, every moment is an opportunity to end well and begin again. And I was talking to one of my granddaughters recently, and when we blow it, whatever that looks like for you, we get angry, we yell, we walk away, whatever we might do as a response or reaction to a particular circumstance, we can always apologize. Now, I know there's a lot of people that say, my apology isn't good anymore because I've said I'm sorry so often that nobody listens to me anymore. And what I'm saying is you keep taking responsibility, which is my version of apology. You keep taking responsibility for the impact you've had. It's all you can do sometimes. Whether they receive it or not, that's their job. That's not your job. Your job is to take responsibility, to forgive yourself and others, and to move on to the next moment. Again, we're always working at being that best version of ourselves and stepping into the light, resisting the darkness that will always be there to try to usurp you. I have a couple of different situations in my life right now. I have a dear friend who's struggling, kind of the battle of her life. She's dealing with a very recent Lyme's diagnosis and is really struggling to navigate how to keep herself healthy, how to deal with both that inner world and the outer world and navigate a healing and setting herself up for healing. And then the other situation in my life is a dear friend of mine gave me a beautiful photographic biography of Mother Teresa. And I've enjoyed looking through it and reading some of it every day. And what strikes me the most is that's a woman who who dedicated her life to service, to caring for the dying, the wounded, the hurt, the ill, the left behind. Like, unbelievable what her organization, Mothers of Charity, have accomplished. And she spent battling a lot of years of her life with her inner demons, the demons that had her feel distant from God or spiritually dry. Or and so it's not like, because we have this uh, amazing presence of contributing to others, that we aren't still also dealing with our own inner world and navigating that, not letting our own egos and uh, mean faced forces take over. We all have that. Even those people that have an external appearance of being saintly. And so we're none of us are excused of that. So, like I told my granddaughter, what you do is you take responsibility, you apologize, and you move on. And sometimes what's most difficult is to forgive ourselves. Now, in my own personal journey, even as I reach this 40-year mark, I can look back, and there's still these, there have been recently, I've completed some things, but there's still these kind of lingering situations where my internal conversation can distract me and pull me off of being kind and being loving, being of service. And that's what I want to talk about. How do we end well? So, one of the things you can look at is, what are the conversations you haven't had? What are the questions you haven't asked? What are the places and who are the people that you haven't apologized or taken responsibility or forgiven, whatever that might be? But as we step into the end and the beginning of the year, make sure you do that. Now, that you may be again listening to this on, I think, January 2nd or 3rd. It's okay. Every moment is an opportunity to begin again. And yes, it's the beginning of a new year, and it may be, there's a line of demarcation. Great. But you can also create that line of demarcation with every conversation, every upset, every argument, every disagreement, every disappointment. You can always look and see, what is there to say, what is there to do, who is there to forgive, how is there for me to be more gracious, more kind, more loving, more understanding, because that's who we're stepping into. So, that's what I really want us to do as we wrap up 2025. Look back and you can see the highlights and the low points. They're all there. But as I shared before, even the low points are opportunities for us to step more fully into the divine presence that we are, and to forgive ourselves for the fallen ways that we fall into. I we always watch It's a Wonderful Life on Christmas Eve. And all these years, that movie wasn't even that successful when it first came out. It was years later. And even when it was, I think, looking to be made, there were people who rejected the script. But so what, right? And then you look at that movie and you can see how we can all miss the contribution that we are and get stuck in our failures, our losses, our mistakes. We can get caught in blame. Uh, there's so many traps. Instead of putting our attention on the people who have been there for us, the lessons we have learned, the hurdles we have overcome, the people we have contributed to and have contributed to us. So, one of the ways you end well is you make sure there's no loose ends. Like, you tie those loose ends up in uh, forgiveness and apology. Maybe it's just communicating to somebody and letting them know how much they mean to you and how grateful you are for them. It's a great way to end a year, a week, a day, and even a moment. Okay? So take that on this week. Let's end this year well so that we can start to look at 2026 and how that year might be the day that we even step further in and embrace more those divine qualities and have them be the expression of who we are. Okay? I'll be here next week. It'll be 2026. And I look forward to seeing you then. Have a beautiful, beautiful New Year's celebration.